product vision, and everything revolving around what they do. Hopefully, we can ask some questions at the end, which will be in the PG VC chat, so we can open the chat of this voice channel. And yeah, but as we let the announcement sit for a little bit, I'll just start recording so that anybody who comes late or isn't able to make it tonight will be able to listen to this later. There we go. And yeah, so I guess, yep, while the announcement's resonating for a bit, so we can start now by allowing the team of Qiibee to introduce themselves, their roles within the team, and we'll let you, whoever would like to start, we'll let you guys take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, to the whole community. Thanks a lot for having us. Real pleasure to be here. My name is Gabriele, I'm co-founder of Qiibee. I'm mainly responsible with Gianluca together for everything connected to growth. So building products people love and scaling them as fast as possible. So I'm really focused on that. And yeah, real pleasure to be here. I'm super happy to hear all your questions and answer them. And I'll give the mic to Gianluca so that he can introduce himself.
Thank you, Gabriele. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having us, G. Awesome to be here. As Gabriele mentioned, yeah, quite a few years in the loyalty space, over 10 years of experience there. And as Gabriele mentioned, we've been on this journey together. And yeah, since 7 years in the Web3 blockchain space. And yeah, for my part, mostly dedicated to the design and making sure that the brand and everything is on point and that we deliver beautifully looking and awesome things to the community. Yeah, looking forward to the things coming in the coming weeks and months. Jelle, if you want to go for a quick intro as well.
Thank you, Gianluca. Yeah, also from my side, pleasure to be here. Thank you, G. Thank you to the Kujira community. Mainly taking over things at the Qiibee Foundation from the business side, sort of tying that in with the Web3, what initiatives make sense, how can we really tie that in with all the things we have going on. And yeah, came from a psychology background, a bit similar to Gianluca and Gabriele in terms of like in the crypto space. It's a while now, 6-7 years, loyalty since about 3 years. So yeah, it's been a journey, really exciting for sure. And I'm excited for what's coming. I think EC, yeah, pass the mic to you.
Oh, what's up, guys? Yeah, pleasure to be here. I think I've been here a couple of times. Also, super excited to be here. I met the Qiibee team in Singapore. Really cool people. I have a background in corporate finance, and I'm the CTO at Arcadia. We're the premier Web3 marketing agency, and we've helped raise over $111 million for clients, whether that be through token raises, NFT sales, venture capitalist fundraising, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we've been working with the Qiibee guys for the last, I believe, like 2 or 3 months now. Really cool guys, super professional, and they're building a really unique product. And yeah, kind of super excited to present it to you guys.
Awesome. Sounds like a stacked team. I've done a bit of research myself, but I'd love for you guys to take it away with what your vision of the product is, and plans ahead, and things that people can look forward to, and basically what you guys have been building for people that don't know. But yeah, I'm personally a fan, and yeah, team sounds like a stacked one, but would love for you guys to take it away and let the community know what's been building.
Awesome. I'll try to pack those questions in a short and sweet way so that we can also give more time for questions from the whole community and you guys. So basically, our vision is to unlock that huge amount of purchasing power that is behind all these points, miles, stamps, etc., that we have locked into different accounts. Around the world, there are more than $500 billion worth of all these reward points, and we want to unlock that by making these reward points tradable. That's basically in a nutshell what we want to do, and we think that there's a huge power behind rewards to actually create a new payment form. And how we execute that is really by offering a B2B rewards marketplace to companies, so they can integrate with our marketplace. They can choose between different rewards that can go from loyalty points, very classic, miles, points, etc. You can also choose crypto options. You can choose gift cards. You can choose physical products, cash payouts, etc., etc. So there are more than 10 million rewards on our marketplace that brands can choose from. And the goal is really to give one access for brands to have much more options for their consumers and customers that are earning their points, so that we as customers actually have more options to spend our points, get more liquidity out of it, and with that also more value. And that's really, I'd say, vision and what we're working on, and also I would say the start for us, because it was for us important to build first that B2B foundation to get lots of brands on board. And now from here, we can really, let's say, look at a lot of different opportunities. And one of them is connecting with the Web3 community, because there is a huge overlap between Web3 community members that are super engaged for certain projects, and also loyalty program users that are super engaged for certain loyalty programs. So there are a lot of similarities, and we basically want to build, also with this free mint coming up very soon, we really want to build up basically the core community that actually helps us out build the product of the future for our brands, but also for the Web3 community. So we have the Qiibee XIP Club coming up, for example. You can already register. The membership will we'll communicate later when you will be able to get them. But it's already cool. You can register, do different activities. We have just right now a raffle going on that if you exchange your points into Etihad guest miles, you take part of winning a whitelist. So I would check that one out for sure quickly if you want to get a whitelist. And so, yeah, basically, we're now working much more with the Web3 community. We want to give access of all these 10 million rewards to the Web3 community through our Qiibee XIP Club. And that's really what we're focusing on. So the NFT pre-mint, Qiibee XIP Club launch. We have the Qiibee token that is being launched also in the next couple of months. And with that, really, let's say, a lot of exciting opportunities that are in front of us, that you will hear more and more and more in the coming weeks and months. How was that as a roundup?
Awesome. Yeah, that was great.
Perfect.
Do we have any questions from the community? Just moving forward after that small roundup from the co-founder, Gabriel. I've just received some links, so I'll just drop them in chat as well so that people are aware. So we've got the QBX VIP Club, and then we also have the whitelist event that I'll drop in chat as well.
Awesome. Perfect. Nice. Thank you.
Here we go. And so how long has it been, I guess, you know, how long has this been in progress? Because, you know, obviously this is something that, you know, the space is sort of not usually fond of, right? I mean, not really, I guess, it's not really something that's, what's the word, common. I mean, you know, something with such value and, you know, utility to bring behind this NFT, whereas it's still going to be a free mint, obviously backed heavily. So, you know, how did you guys come together with this, you know, such a big opportunity for the space, being able to provide such value while also just keeping it as a free mint?
That's a super good question. I mean, getting to this point is really, or let's say, was really a matter of a lot of just listening to customers and understanding what pain points are, and that's really how we built the whole B2B business. And since we always had that, let's say, in mind, B2C solutions that could be super valuable for consumers, because again, we see a lot of different loyalty solutions. So of course, we know also what customers like, etc. And that was for us, let's say, really an opportunity to engage with the Web3 community. And you can see it a bit kind of like a Qiibee lab, basically, where we can test out new ideas, we can get the feedback very fast from the community, and reward also the community for that. And that's really where the free NFT comes in, because we said it makes a lot of sense to give first something to the community, so they have this NFT, they have basically this Genesis membership status, and with that they will have access to different rewards, they will have access to different product features and surveys, etc., that only they will get, and only they will basically be rewarded for that. So the idea is really to build that core community with this free mint, get a lot of information back. So we're giving something for free, but we hope that we get as much feedback and let's say information as possible, so that we can then shape the Qiibee XIP Club and all the other solutions.
Love it. Yeah. So you guys are, still keeping yourselves aware of the Web3 culture and moving around that. I respect it.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. We have a question from one of the people here. It's actually Steeper. Steeper's one of my friends. So he says, sustainability is a key topic in Web3. How do you guys plan on tackling such an issue that's recurring with so many Web3 projects?
Sustainability in the sense of, let's say, spending too much on electricity, for example, from a mining perspective, or from a long-term perspective of a project. Just to clarify that part, because it's two different topics. In the sense of long-term. Oh, okay, cool, perfect, thank you. So, I mean, super good question. So, I think the key answer here is really that our core business, and as I mentioned, the foundation that we have built really comes from the connections that we have to the brand and the solutions that we're delivering to the brands. And there, we're talking always about multi-year partnerships that basically have to work, meaning that these are not brands that use us for a month and then it's done. But if you have a loyalty program, you use that for the next 5 to 10 years. Meaning that, and also mostly if you use a certain infrastructure, you're not going to change that every year. So there is a certain lock-in effect from a technology perspective, meaning that loyalty programs in themselves have a certain long-term strategy behind, and we can really benefit from that. So all the brands that we're bringing on board, they expect us to be long-term, let's say, here, so that they can use our solutions, and that's really what, let's say, what gives us the most long-term view on the whole project. And then there are multiple tests that we can do with different features, products, etc., more short-term, and that's really what we want to test out with the Web3 community. But the project in itself, I mean, we're here for the long term, in the sense that we think about the next 10, 20, 30 years. So it's really about building something that is not just here for now a few years and then we're gone, but this is about building a huge network, a huge marketplace where you actually can deliver a lot of value to all the stakeholders, from users to SMEs to large loyalty programs. So I hope that answers the question, Deeper Basket. Otherwise, you let me know. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
some of these brands that you mentioned, that you've partnered with, obviously, work in hand will work together in keeping the brand alive and sustained. What are some of these brands, if you are able to mention? I noticed that you guys have started a campaign with Coca-Cola. And that was mentioned on Twitter, but are there any other brands that you guys are in talks with, or possibly already confirmed, that people could be excited about?
I mean, it's very strict when you talk with large brands. You sign an NDA, so you can't say anything before they don't give you the okay on the, let's say, on the blog post or the tweet, etc. Meaning that we are in talks with different brands, from gaming to insurance, to neo banking. So there are a lot of different brands that we have in the pipeline that we're talking with, that are in different stages. Some a bit more early, some a bit more, let's say, deeper in the funnel, so more towards signature, and already also signed that we didn't communicate. So the insurance group that I was talking about is already signed. We're working with them on the loyalty program since now over a year, and it should be launched in the next few months. They have around 35 million customers, like $1 billion company, like really, really huge. And So there is a lot of stuff happening from a B2B side, and that again flows all into the whole Web3 space, in the sense that all the solutions that we're testing and looking at with the community are then really based on what we build on the B2B side. So you can look forward to a lot of cool stuff coming. And just to mention the brands again that we work with, we just announced Miles More from Lufthansa in December. As you guys just saw with the campaign that G posted, we have a collaboration with Etihad Guest. You mentioned Coca-Cola, we did with them a campaign. Renault is one of our customers that is using our white label solution. So and we're super proud, and we really appreciate the trust that we're receiving from these brands, and that's all connected to just grinding hard on building products that make sense, that bring value, and that's also for us the connection to, let's say, being sustainable over for the next 5 to 10 years here. If you build the best products, you just will exist because there is no other option for customers.
Yeah, it's amazing. I assume that you guys have someone that's sort of focused on these partnerships and brand deals, because yeah, definitely whoever has taken up that role is doing a good job. It seems even before Mint, so it's really good to see. And
I have to say it's a real team effort.
awesome.
There shout out to the whole to our whole team, because none alone would do it. So it's really a team effort to bring these kind of brands on board, because they take a lot of time from everyone.
Awesome, I love it. And the marketing campaign on Twitter, I think, was done really well, considering that, you know, there's you know, it's not your typical Web3 project that's building hype, but you guys have still managed to get that hype, you know, on Twitter. I think you guys strategized well, so that's also cool to see. And
Thank you. Yeah, and at this point, shout out to Arcadia and these team the call, because they are really masters in making that happen. So yeah, thanks a lot to these guys.
love it, love it. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free. The team's open to answering, as long as it doesn't breach the any NDAs. But yeah, feel free to drop any questions if you guys would like to. And yeah, I see you guys mentioned that you will also be, you know, with post mint, you guys will be providing a percentage of marketplace royalties to holders. Did you want to speak a bit more about that? Because that's something that's quite interesting as well. I think, you know, it's not something common that happens in projects, and you know, maybe some reasoning behind that. What brought you guys to making that decision, and possibly maybe have you guys looked into like the legalities behind that already as well?
I mean, we did. Yeah, for sure. So we have a legal team that checks out everything we do, because otherwise, that would be like, if you're too creative in this space, it could go bad.
Yeah,
The idea there is really to reward people basically with the value that we're generating together. So as we said before, it's really about generating that core community, and we thought, okay, everybody that basically is part of this core community should just be rewarded more than anyone else, and that is really one part of the value that we're generating together. We're carrying it back with the community. So this is something that will be done also in different forms, meaning that you will get once points. There could be all kinds of different, let's say, rewards that you get with that, that you are then able to exchange in all kinds of other rewards. So the idea there is really to give value back for the value that the community is generating for us as a project.
definitely.
And of
Yeah,
course, you will get information to all these benefits in the next 2 weeks with much more detail, so that you know exactly how that works.
awesome. That sounds awesome. Yeah, we have a question here from MetaRover. So he says, what's the criteria for partnering with these brands, these big brands, and what is quote unquote best for the community that plays
That's
a
a
role?
good question. Yeah, that's a good question. So criteria for partnering with these big brands is really, I mean, from our side, it's really that we basically go into the world largest brands, meaning that on the airline side, we have a list, for example, of the largest airlines in the world. We look at the member numbers, we look at the amount of partners they have, we'll look at different metrics basically, where we say, hey, it makes a lot of sense to take this specific frequent flyer program, for example, from an airline into our marketplace. And that's, as an example, how we approach these brands. On the other side, brands expect, for example, and that's much more straightforward in the sense that they need to see value in the solution that you're giving them, meaning that they need to understand how can we make more money, how can we save money, and those are the two most important criteria for brands, let's say, to decide to work with us. On the other side, what is best for the community? I mean, one side is, okay, we look at different loyalty programs and we have different assumptions and estimations what makes sense for the community, and we got pretty fast feedback if it does or not. That's one part. On the other side, we listen to the community and see actually what kind of brands do you actually want to have on board, so that we also know who to target. One simple example is a survey that we're doing right now, where you can earn miles for miles and more by telling us where you would actually like to earn more miles or spend your miles. So what kind of online shop stores, etc., you wanna choose. So through that, the community tells us exactly who they want to see on the marketplace. And whoever posted the feeds in the chat, thank you for that.
Yeah, you guys are moving mad in the chat right now. I think Groot's got people excited. I think Groot's got people excited. He dropped the word whitelist and now things are going crazy. But yeah, no, that's I think most people still heard what you said, but yeah, no, that I think all makes sense because yeah, I mean, partnering with big brands, obviously there needs to be value given on both sides, right? So I could imagine the the difficulties and in making that happen, but you guys did, so it's really cool to see. And then we have another question here from Adiz. So he says, brands you have onboarded will be aware that you'll be providing a reward system through Web3. I assume they are. Can you provide feedback of their
Yeah,
thoughts and integration? You can see the question there, but yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
yeah. I mean, good question. So that's the cool thing. Since, let's say, we're providing a service to this brand that basically goes primarily before the Web3, let's say, solutions that we're testing out. We have an integration with them. So the tech integration is done because, for example, for Miles and More, we onboard the SME, so we already did that integration. Now, if we want to, for example, integrate Miles and More as an example into the Qiibee XIP Club, we still need to ask them. So it's not that we can just do whatever we want and say, hey, let's just move ahead and connect these brands and do this back and forth. But it's still a collaboration and a partnership, meaning that both need to be aware of what is actually being done. And that has all kinds of different backgrounds in the sense that, make an example, certain brands say, as an example, they don't want to work with anything that is connected to gambling, to drugs, like let's say CBD, for example, which is legal in theory in Switzerland, but still people don't really want to be connected to that, right? Weapons, all that kind of stuff. So you have different categories that brands don't want to be connected with. So we basically let them control with who they connect with. Same thing for us. So we basically ask them, and their thoughts are pretty, also they're straightforward. As long as they don't have additional risk, for them it's fine. So and that really depends also from the region that they're in, meaning of the regulations that they have, etc. If you are a brand in the EU room, for example, or area, you don't have the possibility to make, or let's say, as soon as you make points exchangeable in cash or crypto, or the other way around, you go under the e-money regulations. So you have a completely different risk profile, as if you don't have that. So it's not even like, mostly it's really connected to laws and real limitations that they have.
Definitely. And guys, when joining
The
Web3,
rules are made to be broken. Yeah, I agree on this. At least.
also guys, anybody that joined late, feel free to drop any questions. But yeah, so joining Web3, obviously you guys haven't minted yet, but have already gained a lot of hype and traction through your marketing campaign. have you guys faced any challenges, joining the Web3 market and, dealing with different communities, etc.? Have there been any challenges that you face in Web3 that were different to Web2?
And a good problem to have. Let's say we're overwhelmed by the love, in the sense that by the engagement, and everyone really DMs just exploding. So everything was really wild, and I mean that is completely different to the Web2 world, because it's much more conservative, much less hype, and that was amazing to see, honestly. And it's more a matter of, it's a challenge, because you would like to tell everybody basically personally, hey, thank you so much for what you did. And of course you don't have the chance, because I think we had, like, in the last 1.5 months, more than 2 million messages on the Discord chat. There were so many user-generated content pieces that we saw, from people tattooing our logo on their arm, other people making rap songs, and I think we saw our logo in Minecraft. So there is literally so much stuff happening that we really got overwhelmed from that. So that wasn't expected. We really love the engagement and the love that we're getting. I would say that was the biggest challenge, because it is a lot. So, but it's cool, and it will only grow more. So we're ready for that.
Yeah, we got people FOMOing in the chat now. Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's usually comes with with the hype, is the explosions in DMs and whatnot. But yeah, glad to know that you guys have a good mindset towards that. And oh, here we have a question from Adiz again. So yeah, who is your target market onboard system? Are you aiming to onboard Web2 users and integrate them to Web3 from the brands you are onboarding, with the reward being simple enough for non-familiar Web3 users to interact with and use?
A good question. Basically, you can imagine it like this: we're on the brand side, we're targeting larger loyalty programs, as an example, and on the other side, smaller, medium enterprises. And the idea is really to connect them with each other, because they can both benefit from those different segments. And the cool thing is, for the brands, we're just providing, let's say, the whole backend layer, meaning that they don't have to worry about making all these rewards exchangeable, figuring out how they have to do the invoicing between each other, reconcile the whole database, etc. So we do the whole thing for them automatically, basically our technology. And you, as a user, go just from one program to the other. You don't see Qiibee there in between. You don't have to download another app. Now, the good thing is, since we basically have those integrations with these brands, we can then also move ahead and basically say, okay, we can use the Qiibee XIP Club to connect with the different rewards that we're integrating on the B2B side. And there, basically, you have that connection between both worlds, Web 2 and Web 3. And the good thing is, let's say, and this is something that we're really talking about, like future music, in the sense that we're talking about next 2, 3, 4 years. There will be, let's say, a certain user acquisition from the B2B side that will go directly to Qiibee and see, hey, Qiibee is actually connected to a lot of different loyalty programs. Let me check it out. And the idea there, of course, is to also bring these people that are coming from the Web2 world into the Qiibee XIP Club. So in the Qiibee XIP Club, you will have a mix of both. But this is really something over the years, and the first priority is the Web3 community, and then the Web2 community.
Nice, yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, like it's a pretty tedious job to try exchange loyalty points now, right? Between different products, or maybe flight miles, whatever it
Yeah,
may be. But
yeah,
something like
100%.
this
Yeah,
would make it like a seamless experience for both Web2 and Web3 users.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, for all the stakeholders, it's a super painful process. Like, for the user, it's a painful process. For the bank, if it's a bank that is connected to a airline miles program, so and for the miles program, so all three basically waste a lot of energy and money throughout that process, and we can really reduce that basically to a minimum. So we can take away at least 99% of that pain and cost, so that we can we can make the whole experience more comfortable for everyone and more
Yeah,
frictionless.
That's really good. I mean, I myself am bullish on that just from the fact that, I mean, I travel not even a lot, but I guess I've traveled enough to want to have a seamless experience like that. I know people that travel continuously and would probably benefit off something like this a lot. But that's just traveling, I'm sure, with other loyalty programs as well. And we have a question here from Meta Rover. He says, how do you plan on onboarding brands that already have a loyalty program? What incentive is there for them to move to the blockchain?
So I'm just reading the question again.
Of
So
course.
basically, no, I mean you have to imagine it like this. The marketplace is globally available. Then there are different rewards that are, let's say, restricted from being in different regions, right? That can be done from the partner, that can be done through us, etc. What we expect is that the brands using our marketplace, that they basically know the regulations in their markets, meaning that they know with which brands they can connect with or not, and what they can offer or not. Because otherwise, you have to imagine you have legal implications that are going per region, but then you have another layer that goes actually per industry. And if you look at all the regions and the industries intersection that you then have, we would be more a legal, let's say, service company than a tech company. That's why we leave it really to the brands that they know the regulations in their regions and know what you can do or not. But the marketplace itself is not restricted from. I mean, besides the usual suspects that you can, like North Korea and stuff like that. But yeah, I actually don't even know if it's restricted. Like we wouldn't be able to enter, to be fully honest. But it's not our target market, just to be sure.
As someone from North Korea, this is disappointing.
Like, fuck. I wanted to launch my loyalty program here.
But yeah, no, that's all good information. Yeah, I mean, again, it's value that's, something that's scalable, and definitely a target for both Web 2 and Web 3. So another question here from Adiz. What differentiates you from Web 2 loyalty systems? Why did you choose to launch on Web 3 and release an NFT as a pass?
Yeah, sure. No, good question. So the first to answer the first question, I mean, if you look at classic Web 2 marketplaces, let's call it like that, like this, they mostly focus on the tech integration. So they just help you out to optimize the tech integration between different partners. And they leave out all the other process steps that can go from commercial negotiations to legal agreements to, again, accounting processes, payment processes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we can really deliver the full process fully automatized. And the big difference is really that we're using then blockchain technology as a let's say as a means to make the interoperability frictionless between these two brands. Because right now you have one brand with their database that could be an SME with their purchasing history, and then you have the loyalty program with their points bank and basically seeing all the points transactions. Now you automatically, since those two databases are not connected, there is no way to have a clear view on let's say from both stakeholders on the same data. There will always be errors between those databases if you want to reconcile them. Now, what blockchain does is basically giving the same data of that specific loyalty transaction, so earn, burn, or exchange, to all the stakeholders that are involved. So everyone has the same data points. So again, the one source of truth, let's say, comes through in this sense. And through that, you can basically make the whole transaction from a points and cash reconciliation behind the scene. Basically, you can make that much more efficient. And when I say much more, you literally make it 100x more efficient. So that's really where the whole let's say blockchain part comes in. As I mentioned in the beginning, we also have crypto as an exchange option. So we have an integration with Binance, with Coinbase, where we can exchange points to crypto. And all of these connections, now going to the second question, as I said before, like the idea is to get as much data as possible to build products people love. And because of that, we said, let's connect with the Web3 community that we anyways already had a bit from the beginning, and now it just exploded. And the goal with the NFT is to build that core, let's say, core members of the community that really will help us out with giving us feedback on features. We'll fill out surveys. We'll use the products obsessively, and we'll talk about every bug they find and everything they don't like, so that we really know how to push the product further and further. So that's why we said let's release a free NFT. Again, making that paid from our perspective wouldn't have made sense, because we want to give something before we ask. Let's say, can you test this feature? Can you fill out this survey? And we'll also even give you a small reward on that. So you can look forward to that.
That's great. And how did you guys, you know, as a team form together? You know, so obviously everybody's well experienced in their own field, but how did you guys meet and form a team like this?
I mean, Gianluca and Jelle that are present on the call here. I know Dan pretty long, since we're all three brothers. we basically found together in the family. Gianluca and I founded Qiibee, so for us it was really more, let's say, we both came from two different fields of experiences, meaning that we had very complementary capabilities and know-how, that it made a lot of sense to say, you know what, let's jump on this journey together. And then really building the team was a matter of also they're learning a lot. So really learning, how do you recruit, how do you build the culture for the team, et cetera, et cetera. And the team that we have, start team with again, experiences in their respective fields for sure, but also a huge amount of commitment to the company, to the vision, to what we want to achieve. They grind 24/7 to again build the products that you guys love. So really by just grinding on the recruiting and looking really every time that you have basically the right people on board. Again, this is not something that you master 100% all the time. So that is a learning process. But yeah, I would say that we really built a rock star team. And Joele, as the third and youngest brother, he came then on board 3 years ago when he finished university. And since he again studied psychology and is a master in the whole Web3 space and marketing, he took over the whole business dev part.
Awesome. And yeah, Voodoo asked a question here that actually I've also wondered myself. It's a good question. How did the name come about? Because it is very catchy, actually.
Thank you for that. So I mean, basically it's a bit of a strange story in the sense that we also don't know why. But when Gianluca and I were thinking about the name, we always had that name, that animal, the bee, in mind, and we didn't know why. So we basically had both that name in mind, or that animal in mind, and we thought about, actually customers are treated a bit like bees. Like, in theory, they're essential for our survival. We get through bees, fruits, vegetables, and all that stuff. But people do not really appreciate them. I mean, when a bee comes too near, they try to basically push it away, etc. And we saw a similarity between how brands are treating customers, basically, with all kinds of ways. And one of them is bothering customers with ads. Like, who likes ads? I mean, if you're watching something on YouTube and you have the ad, everybody hates that. If you want to go onto magazine and you have ads, again, same thing. It's just bothersome for customers. And we saw a huge similarity between of that, and we said, you know what, that bee basically represents the customer, and we need to create energy bees, and that's where the key comes from the chi. So if you had another if you had an I, it's called Qiibee, and that's where it basically comes from. So we want to create as many energy bees as possible, being customers valuable for brands, and the other way around, so that customers are being appreciated and rewarded for what they are and what they bring.
Respect. That's a lot of
Thank you,
thought.
Music.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Scaviola says, are you guys part of certain Web3 communities, if not by PG or Panda? We would love to have you guys in the PG ecosystem. You know, Genesis is full of founders and builders, and you know, Gen2 Fusion as well, full of, and you know, a lot of trading degens. But yeah, if, ever want to join some Web3 communities, PG is definitely a good place to start if you haven't yet.
Really, really cool. We'll check it out 100%.
So there's another question here. Is there an option for the future to offer white label solutions for brands to issue physical rewards? Example, Vitalit Global is a health rewards company that you can earn and spend points. This is just above. This is a few messages above.
Yeah, no, I just saw it. So basically, we already offer today a white label solution. So if you don't have a loyalty program and you want to set up one, we can basically set up our loyalty white label solution for you, where you can customize the whole branding, design, etc. Choose the different loyalty rules and basically deploy it. The insurance group that I was talking at the beginning goes in a very similar direction. So there you also get basically rewarded for different kind of activities, of course, on buying insurance and all of that stuff. But then also one example is connecting your how's it called, your toothbrush to the app basically, and being able to see if you actually are cleaning your teeth well or not, and based on that you will get rewarded. So those things we're already doing. Renault is another example that is using our white label solution, where you can buy a car, you get rewarded with Renault points, and then basically can spend them either on more Renault products, for example charging pass, since it's an EV that we're promoting there, or you can exchange them in Apple or Samsung products. So that is already something that we're doing and that basically brands can use.
And a question from Dudes, I think you guys may have touched on before about looking for long-term rewards-based partnerships with. Oh, actually no, because you spoke more Web2 based. Have you guys looked into long-term reward-based partnerships with Web3 brands?
Not actively. We're getting a few requests, I have to say. So there's for sure some potential there, and it's something that that we're super interested in. So everyone that has a nice cool Web3 project that needs some cool rewards, you guys let us know, because I think that we can do a lot of cool stuff together. I hope that answers the question.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect.
Yeah, so and you know, obviously Qiibee is going to be something that you know you guys are looking to keep and keep around for the long term, and you know, hopefully everybody's still around in Web3 to see it happen. But you know, Web3 is obviously something that we all believe in to be long term. So you know, I do believe that Qiibee is going to be around, just based off the direct value that you guys can bring. You know, whereas a lot of things out there are just based off speculation and hype. So you know, definitely respectable. And yeah, so I guess you know, post mint. You know, are there any plans that you guys have to sort of, you know, because you have a sustainable product in mind, or you know, plans and strategies that you have toward that, but to sustain a Web3 community is also another thing. You know, do you guys have any plans in mind to sort of sustain a community and sort of maintain and keep them managed and happy? Are you guys looking to, you know, hire some Web3 staff, or anything in mind to just, you know, attack that aspect of Web3 and keep the community constantly active, engaged, happy, that sort of thing?
Good question. So for sure the free mint is just a starting point, meaning that from there on you will just see more. So for sure we'll scale the team and get more team members on board that we can basically manage the whole demand that we're receiving. As I mentioned before, we have access to more than 10 million rewards on our marketplace. So you will see a lot of those rewards basically being connected with different community activities for holders and non-holders. of the NFT, so that we can really engage the community. And on the other side, we'll also decide with the community together actually what is the next step from the free mint on. So we have different ideas in mind. That could be an option, that could be a direction where we could go, but we really want to hear from the community. Hey, which direction do you want to go? What makes sense for you, and what product would you actually use instead of just launching something and hoping that somebody's using it?
For sure. Yeah, I can definitely. Yeah, that's great. I mean, just the fact that you guys have, kept in mind every aspect of this project, whether it's community or because obviously some projects, might find that partnering with big brands and dealing with a lot of, Web2 entities might feel like a whole overload and might not feel like they have the capacity to be in Discord with the community and sort of, cultivate. But I think it's important, and the fact that you guys have already strategies around that is a bullish thing. So that's great to hear. And but yeah, you guys,
And also,
yeah,
just here on the Arcadia team, I mean, they're helping us a lot in managing the whole community. So they will for sure stick around and help us support the whole community engagement, because, as you say, it's super important, and
for sure,
we want to work with pros on this.
for sure. No, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, all bullish information. Go for it, AC.
Yeah, I was just gonna chime in and say, the guys are very well aligned with kind of the culture of Web3, I've been in the space for, I don't know, since January of 2021. And I mean, every single time the second a mint happens is, oh, when floor price pump, oh, when this, when that, when announcement, like all of that good stuff. I mean, our goal here is to basically seed out those people from the get-go. And also kind of bring in people that really care about the product, really care about the team behind this, because you know, as what was mentioned earlier, they're rock stars, right? They're really cool people, and they're building a really unique product in kind of in a market right now where there isn't really a lot of unique things coming to market.
Mm.
Like all we're seeing is like free mint, gaming project, tokens, so on and so forth. Like
Mhm.
none of it is super unique. Qiibee is very unique to that, and we're kind of just playing along with that narrative. Um, and I don't think we've really touched on kind of the token too much in this
We haven't.
AMA. But yeah, of course there's going to be a token. There's going to be a lot of incentives to hold, not financial advice, of course. And there's going to be, a bunch of things lined up for the token as well. So kind of excited to get to that point as well. But yeah, the free mint is just a start for Qiibee. They're great guys, and yeah, I mean this project is going to be a blast to work on over the next few months as well, like it already has been.
Awesome. Yeah, you touched on like, I mean, if we're not beating around the bush, it's very true. Like, there's a lot of speculation. There is hype in a lot of projects that get marketed now, but a lot of speculation, a lot of hype that's based around not anything yet. People are waiting on announcements, etc. But this is something that's unique, bringing direct value, but also targeting this sort of demographic of Web3 degens, let's per se, or, you know, sort of actually targeting the whole of the Web3 demographic because it's the easiest entry into a project. It's a free mint. There's instant utility. There's, big brands that are partnered already pre-mint. Everything, all boxes have been ticked in terms of value, and then also, attacking the Web3 demographic. So I can imagine how excited you guys are to attack this and roll out this project. I'm bullish myself. Um, but yeah, it's also the token that you mentioned is another thing that Web3 heads love to look forward to. So definitely a lot coming for Qiibee Foundation, which is I mean, I'm excited for you guys. But you guys have spoken a lot about Qiibee tonight, and um, there's been quite a few questions. I want you guys to, if you guys have any sort of closing statements that you may have, in your mind that yet, haven't been stated yet, anything that you want to just let the community know, please take it away, guys.
Thank you so much, Steve. Honestly, just want to say thank you for hosting us. It was great questions, really amazing AMA, and again, we thank the whole community so much and the audience for being here, the community for giving the love, and the whole engagement. We're really, really, really appreciate it. And stay tuned. January will be huge, huge, huge. And from there on, again, you'll get more and more and more information, more and more rewards are coming out. And just stay tuned and enjoy the journey. I would say that's a good way to to close it.
Love it, man.
Maybe just one more thing. That would be also amazing if you guys want to check out a little bit how the ecosystem works and understand what we're doing also on an actual personal level. Definitely go check out our last tweet regarding the Etihad and Qiibee VIP Club campaign. You have a chance to win a whitelist there and be part of a raffle. So definitely go check that out as well. Yeah, thank you, G, for posting it in chat.
And those are guaranteed spots, not first come, first serve. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Good luck, my Jira friends.
And of course, thanks for having us. It was really cool.
Of course, man. I really enjoyed my time here. I actually learned quite a bit about your project today. I mean, I did my research, but talking to you guys personally is, obviously you get to learn the ins and outs and the in-depths without you guys breaching NDAs, of course. But I had a blast, man. Thank you guys for coming on as well. And I'm sure hopefully we can stay in touch for some community-related events. Maybe in the future, who knows? But I wish you guys all the best with Qiibee, and you guys already seem to be doing very well. And yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And hope to talk soon.
Stay tuned. Ciao, ciao.
Take care,
Ciao,
man.
guys. Bye-bye. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Have a great day. Take care.